What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another trade recap. Today's trade recap is going to be on Wednesday and today, which was Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. I did trade, but I got break even. It was kind of a New York consolidation day. I was up like 3 or 4%, but I ended up taking a break even. So no loss yesterday. I didn't trade President's Day Monday. And then Tuesday, as you saw my recap, we banked. And then today we banked, and I will go over that as well. But first, let's go over Wednesday's trade. Ignore the data high thing. That was actually from today. This is relevant. This was my target, which was Friday's highs over here. These highs here were my target. And I took the trade based on not my level, but an inverse fair value gap. So we had this bearish gap right here. Obviously got mitigated. The mitigation candle obviously created that bullish fair value gap. Obviously that is our inverse fair value gap when you have a bearish / bullish fair value gap that is mitigated by the fair value gap of the opposite nature. So in this case, a bearish gap mitigated by a bullish gap. That's your bullish inversion here on the 1 minute, and that is the time frame I take it on. I also have never really said this, but I do execute most of my trades, if not all of them, on the 1 minute, sometimes even the 30-second. Obviously, I use higher time frames for analysis and stuff, but the 1 minute is my home. So I took the trade right here. I filled here because it was the top of that bearish gap, and I wanted to see us retest kind of under that EQ. We dug in pretty perfectly, barely drew down, and then delivered nicely to that previous day high. Very clean, ended up obviously going higher as well. But yeah, very clean day on Wednesday, very simple stuff. Inverse fair value gap, there was no liquidity sweep, but we did create that higher low here. So after we created that higher low, inversed, and then failed to resweep that low, I knew that we were bullish, and I waited for this inversion here, and that was the trade. I did also take this trade in Asia yesterday. Thursday, like I said, was break even. As you can see, this chop consolidation. I was in these longs, up, and I ended up getting break even somewhere, down here. I honestly forget the setup. It doesn't really matter. This was my Asia trade. I have to redraw it actually. So I filled, not right here, but based on this gap. I filled obviously right there. But based on this gap, which was the first inversion of the leg that we were in, and it was just my POI for longs, and I took it to our highs from Thursday, New York. Obviously, that played out. It did take quite a bit of time. I actually was asleep when I hit TP up here, but very good trade. Posted that on my Instagram. Obviously, I didn't live trade it. I didn't really signal it, but I did say when I was getting to the longs in the Discord. But yeah, and of course, the stop was 12.5 ticks, as always, or 12.5 points, 50 ticks, as always. But yeah, that was last night's Asia trade. I honestly don't know why I recapped that. I wasn't even gonna, but very simple. Literally just took it on the inverse fair value gap it was an inverse gap. On the inverse fair value gap getting filled right there. So pretty simple stuff. This trade was my favorite, and it was using my model. So as you guys know, these levels that you see on screen, all these green, orange, white levels, these are all part of my model. And if you don't have it already, grab the indicator that plots them all for you automatically if you want to trade the model. That will be in the description below, along with my Discord as always, where I take all these trades live Monday through Friday. But yeah, today's trade was very simple. We had, first of all, bearish news that left this data high. All that news was like 3 different red folders, all 22-day old news that was not released due to the government shutdown. So it's kind of like a delayed news release. We dumped pretty hard. I waited for New York. Actually, that's not true. Before New York Open, I took one setup, same setup. I took it right here on the inversion, but obviously it was a little too early. New York Open super bearish. And once New York opened, we not swept, but kind of grabbed liquidity. There wasn't really anything to sweep over here, but we grabbed and created that new low. And then once we inversed back up and had that solid FVG close through the level, that is when I placed my limit. I bought in right on the level, and I had a 50 tick stop. Basically bottom ticked it and got about 143 points for 11.4 R. So very good week. About 11% profit this week, I believe. Pretty good week overall. But yeah, I took it to the data high. I did call out that we would probably go up to these London highs here, but we ended up just taking the data highs because I didn't know. We were a little bit volatile here, and we had a bearish 1 hour gap, so I was a little bit sketched out and just took the first EOL. But yeah, very clean draw to that data high, very fast delivery. Was like a 6-minute workday by the time I hit TP at 9:36. So yeah, very clean day, very clean week. Hopefully this was helpful. Pretty simple stuff, guys. You guys know the drill. That liquidity grab or sweep, and then that inversion, usually looking for that inverse fair value gap. And if possible, using these levels as your entry point to really get specific with your entries and really minimize drawdown. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, link below in the description for the indicator and for my Discord where I live trade Monday through Friday. Peace out, guys.